Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It looks like I'm a little slow today. I'm awake, but apparently my computer isn't. But hopefully you're awake, and I know my special guest today is awake. So first of all, this is one of my favorite topics, which is selling with video, how to position video messaging beyond just, regular prospecting to improve your results with that video engagement. So let me introduce my friend, Doug Lehman, who I've known for years and years and years, but as is usual with social media relationships, you know each other for years, you're in each other's space, you see what they're doing, and you're like, yeah, he's a really good friend of mine. And then we realized when Doug interviewed me a couple weeks ago, we actually hadn't connected even over video until that time. So I am super excited because he is one smart guy. Now he's a business development guy, so still BD, still sales, but he's not only passionate about sales, he's passionate about digital media and video. And I think we all know in 2020, we got broadsided by COVID, and the need for video in order to engage with our audiences, with our prospects, with our buyers became so much more important. So what Doug does is specialize in story selling video projects for sales, for speakers, for service leaders. And he's got, in layman's terms, virtual selling video for improving customer experience, building on that client retention. He's been in big business. He's run his own business. He totally understands what the salesperson's going through. He's got over 25 years working for like IBM, Sun, Coca-Cola, Cisco. So it's not like, hey, I'm an entrepreneur who's going to teach you about sales, but I haven't actually ever done it myself, which, some people are like that, but not Doug. He's also worked with video and audio editing with things like Top Sales World magazine, video producer. He is the interview correspondent for Outbound Sales Conference, which I've never been invited to speak at, I'm just saying, and also the Sales Experts channel, which we are a part of. So I want to bring on my friend, Doug. Can everybody give him a big hello?
Viv,
Hello.
It's great. It's awesome to get to do another interview with you, but this time I'm being interviewed. Love it. Love it.
I know you're usually on the other end, as it were. All right. Already I'm seeing two people in our feed. Dave Bazzolto, who's awesome. He's got great equipment, which mine just went out, by the way, but that's not Dave's fault. That's
it's all good.
That's hinky stuff going on here. Doug is awesome. Absolutely. We've got Michelle Baker. So there's some really cool people already on this call. So I'm going to stop talking now, and let's talk about how to improve your sales messaging with video engagement. So my first question to you, then I'll stop talking, is what is the impact of video today in our virtual business world?
Well, it's a much bigger impact today now because of the whole COVID thing. We can't meet face to face. So you hear that phrase, what's the next best thing to be in there? Video. But we've got to up the video at all levels of communication, whether it's prospecting, testimonials, post sales, or just simple communication along the sales process. So it's there and it's not going away. When we travel, we're going to do more hybrid stuff. So it's where it is. I've always been a proponent of video for the last 10 years, but it's just amplified over the last year, with the COVID.
Okay, so you said travel, which we may or may not get back to anytime soon. Here's fingers crossing. I'm going completely off topic now. No, it's still on the topic of video, but when we start traveling again, how do we take our studio with us? So we get really comfortable. We've been in our home offices for over a year. I've got my green screen over there. I've got my 3 lights going on. I got my, semi-expensive mic here. I got crappy internet, but what do we do when we start traveling? How are we going to take our studio with us?
Well, you definitely take your studio with you because you got one of these things. It's called a cell phone, and you can capture video anywhere you go. And there's an app for that. Okay, there's a million apps for that. So being able to take short form videos at events. Okay, you go to an event, you mentioned the Sales Experts channel or Outbound Conference, whatever. Being able to do testimonials at events or bringing your studio on the road. If you got a laptop and a webcam and a cell phone, you're good to go. So we're portable. That's been proven with Zoom calls, but adding that level of video engagement at conferences for face-to-face and repurposing the content. A video like this we're doing live, right? And I'm going to take this footage and chop it into short videos and repurpose it. That's the same thing you can do. That's an extra tip, but just leverage video through the whole journey.
I love that. So, I mean, one of the things I notice, I speak at a lot of conferences, and we'll get people who shoot 24/7 at a 3-day conference, and they literally have content then for the entire year.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's a way to build your playlist or repurposing content. I'll take it down that rabbit hole. Having pre-recorded content to use at different points of engagement is wonderful. You can reset that up. Anytime you record a testimonial or an event, you can use that at different parts of engagement. Hey, we spoke to so-and-so. I got that video queued up. Put it on your hard drive, put it on your phone, and send it away. Off
you go. I know the technology is so amazing. Yes, I'm going to get to that question, Andre. Let me ask the audience, though, how many of you, back in the day when we did conferences and trade shows and on-site visits and things like that, how many of you were taking the time to do customer testimonials? And how many of you are using, Zoom now to do virtual customer testimonials? Because I think that's super important. I'm so glad you brought that in, Doug, because that's not us saying, hey, I'm awesome. It's other people saying, hey, Doug's awesome.
Having your clients or customers share your story on your behalf is powerful. Because if I talk about how great I am or how you talk about how great you are, that's okay. Kind of expect that in some regards. But having a client or customer share your story, then another client's evaluating you. And I recommend having testimonials per each industry you sell to. And put that on your,
that's really important.
And put that on your inbound, on your website, so people can come to that and say, well, I'm looking to buy in this industry. That client likes what I have, or I can identify with that. It's just powerful. And those testimonials can be post-sales, or they could be during the sales process. When a person's in the decision phase, they look at a testimonial to help make up their own mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, doing it with the different verticals, or I guess if you even did, not verticals necessarily, but different, geographies, different countries, maybe even, testimonials depending on the size of your company in different languages. I think that's probably important.
Absolutely.
Too. Yeah. Hey, Dennis, we got some great people on the call today. Yeah, Dennis, you need to get on there and start doing those testimonials.
And the thing with I'm so passionate about post sales with video, because we can talk about prospecting, which we'll go there. But getting these testimonials done, you got to earn the right to get the testimonial and coach them up. There's several tips to get the right art form of a testimonial. Coach them up, ask for them, and you know what? Here's an idea. If you have a lot of great customers, put out a video contest and have them say, hey, do a video about how great our services are. Let them do the production work for you. User-generated content through video testimonials saves you on production time, and it spreads the word.
And, Dan made a really good point just now. He's like, it's not so much getting the testimonials as having the guts to put it out there. And here's what I'll tell you. Yes, and having a production team. So getting someone like Doug, we've got a great video team at Vengreso to make it pretty and make it really pop. Makes a big difference. We just had a video that our team customized for one of our customers, and it was not only the customer speaking, but they put flash throughs and I don't know all the terminology, and I think that makes a big difference. And you do that, right?
Yeah, what you're talking about with the flash throughs and all what you were saying is pattern interrupts. You want to you're competing for time, and you're competing for their time and their attention. So anything that you can make it visual appealing, it's not a distraction, helps with that testimony. Dan Jordan made a comment about just having the guts to ask testimonials. Well, I want to thank Dan. He actually did a testimony for me the other day. And it came from the heart. So it was authentic. It wasn't like checks in the mail, Dan. But the point is being able to use visual elements, and production value does come into play, because I hear that phrase, I just want to be real and authentic. Yeah. David Chappelle says when keeping it real goes wrong can be a problem. So look, we gotta up the level of production to a certain extent, because let's face it, we're not going back, and you want to get their attention and their time.
Yeah, exactly. We're going off a total, and we'll bring it back into what we were going to talk about today. But you said, you need to kind of create the okay, I totally said that, not you, but you have to create the atmosphere for a testimonial. Do you recommend like talking points? How do you, after asking for the testimonial, how do you kind of prepare your audience, or your testimonier?
Well, like an interview or like a podcast, you could send them over the questions in advance.
Okay.
But you also kind of want to tie down the testimonial as storytelling content. Before we used their product, we were this, and after it, they're a hero and they made us look good. So give them some data, some quality points, because people resonate with data. Hey, we used Acme software in the third quarter. It increased our sales by 20%. I recommend Acme software. By the way, their customer experience is amazing.
Nice.
Give them a few bullet points. Don't over can it to them, or I say personalize it, over script it for them. Just give them some parameters, because you want them to be real and authentic. But you also don't want to say, hey, they're awesome.
Exactly.
Out,
I know. I always recommend that for the written recommendation on LinkedIn, because if you don't give them at least some keywords to play around with, you're going to get it. That's awesome, which is not a great recommendation or testimonial.
But having the guts to ask, is the first step.
That absolutely is, and I think that's what keeps most people stuck, is they're afraid to ask for the testimonial.
Absolutely.
And so they're at the conference, they just spoke, they have 200, 500, 1,000 people in the audience. And what a perfect time to go out in the hall and start getting those testimonials. And what I need to start doing when we get back to conferences is, because I always go out in the hall after I speak and answer questions, and I need to be answering questions, and in payment for answering that question, you need to give me a testimonial.
Exactly. You got to seize the moment.
Yeah.
Especially now. I mean, when we do travel.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a good point that Adam made, is it depends on what industry you're in too. There's some places where getting that video testimonial goes against compliance, like in the medical industry. So,
I know Adam asked a question on the LinkedIn stream earlier. He commented, thank you, Adam. And he talked about, he leverages a lot of video work for internal sales communication. That's a whole other element for video. So I totally agree with regulation and privacy. There's certain video emails that you can't send to certain industries, but there's workarounds on that, and there's ways to communicate.
So you two should definitely connect too. So let's take it back to the
Sure.
No, I'm the one who went off topic, but I think it's a really important one. So we'll rein it back in for the last 20 minutes or so. So what is the impact of video today in the virtual business world?
Well, let's face it. If you can't travel and you can't meet face-to-face, video is the next best thing to be in there. Let's say your click-through rates are down, or nobody's responding to your email, or you want to shorten the sales cycle. Video can help with that. Video fits well into that. So you're not getting enough replies to your email, regular text email, try a video. Your click-through rates, you're not getting it. The sales cycle, it might be real complex in what you're trying to say in written form. Yeah. A video can dumb it down in layman's terms and make it resonate with them. So those are 4 areas of why video resonates in the virtual world. And we're living in a virtual world, so it's not going away.
No, absolutely. 100%. We're big fans of One Mob, Hippo Video, Bomb, Videolicious. I mean, even just if you don't want the software, you can't afford the software, shoot a video, to Doug's point, shoot a video on your phone, and you can send it every social platform, with maybe the exception of Clubhouse now, but every other social platform allows you to send video and private messaging. Finally, LinkedIn too. Yeah, so there's no excuse.
I love what you said, because you just named some great companies for video email. And I'm going to add Co-Video in there, Bomb, Vidyard, Wistia. Yeah. I don't want to piss anybody off. They're all great. They all have
Loom.
Free trial, Loom. Yeah, they're on the list. But also, you just said something, LinkedIn, but Instagram.
Yeah.
Facebook. You can do video. And some clients, maybe B2C, Facebook, I can get a hold of somebody, but I can't get a hold of them on a video email. So think about native video on social networks, and then we can go back to LinkedIn and email. You want to get started? Do a LinkedIn story for 20 seconds. You're scared to do video? Start out small. Just go on Friday. You got to have the mobile app. Go to LinkedIn and do a 20-second message. Hey, happy Friday. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. I know I am. That's a starting point. I mean, it doesn't have much value, but start out small. Get your reps in. Start out with the stories. That's some short form video.
That's great. We had actually Lance Scholar and Subi Zimmerman, even before I got stories, right? We had them on our Vengreso live. So absolutely, stories are a good place to start. Now, if you've been on Insta or Facebook for years, you probably are already doing stories. But to Doug's point, LinkedIn has stories too now, finally, like 5 years after the fact.
Keep it 100 with all different types of, get it right, Doug, with all types of channels out there. We can get into
video interrupt.
Exactly. That's a pattern interrupt. Keep them at the end of the day in your message. You're competing for time and you're competing for attention.
Yeah.
So you got to have a call to action. You got to personalize it at certain levels. There's different levels of personalization, 1-to-1, 1-to-few, and 1-to-many.
Right.
But you still got to drive their attention.
So to that point, you and leverage video, and we leverage video, and we all recommend leveraging video throughout the entire sales process. And you said something really interesting: 1-to-many, 1-to-few, 1-to-1. Now, 1-to-many, isn't that marketing's job?
It's more of a broadcast video. This Sunday, we're going to see the Super Bowl, right? A lot of commercials are going to be 1-to-many, but at the same time, if you have a great 1-to-many video that you can put in your sales strategy down the road that it resonates, fine. And you can take a 1-to-many video that's like a broadcast, like I used to do for LinkedIn connections. Hey, thanks for connecting on new LinkedIn connection. There's an idea for a video. Thanks for connecting. And the video goes on about, I'm glad we're connected, Bob. I show some pictures on it. And it's really a YOU. It's not really directed to you. It's just to anybody. But I'll personalize it in the text of the email, or I may send audio. That's a workaround, because at the end of the day, a canned message is a canned message if it doesn't resonate to the viewer, but you can use that footage at certain times for engagement. So I
love it. So
don't sleep on the canned message. You can use it. You can implement it, but you can use text and audio to support it. I'm kind of rambling here, but if I send you a canned message, I'll even say in a voice message, hey, by the way, the message below, it's non-personalized. Just want to put that in there.
So that's perfect. You're like, hey, being transparent here, but you should still watch the video because there's some value there.
I think value is multi-touch points. I know there's a question about omni-channel.
Yeah.
Video is your lead actor. Text and audio are your supporting actors. They all work well together. So
love it.
Your video message should have some text that supports in the video and the audio. And when you send a video message, call them on the phone and say, hey, by the way, at 2:30 on a Friday, I just sent you a video message. I hope it doesn't go to spam, and I want to make sure I'm drawing your attention to listen to it. So don't think of them as separate. Think about them as multi-touch points. They all work together. Video is just the star, and text and audio can all work well. It's messaging. Yeah. You want them to listen to it or watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you said omni-channel, because you're absolutely right. When you go from 2 forms or 2 channels up to 4 channels, which, to your point, you sent them a message, you sent them an email, you sent them you left a voicemail, and, maybe a text. You go from, 200% chance of opening to 400% chance.
Exactly. And having that authentic thumbnail that they see it visually. Yeah. And, there's a point with just being able to use all the visual elements to get the message across. Here's a case in point. I'll just give you. And we got the dog going here in the background. Yeah. It's not my dog. So let's say,
super excited about
I'm just going to do this. Say I'm trying to get in front of an author, because I work for authors. So Tom Williams, author of this book, Buyer-Centered Selling. I could send Tom a text message. I could send him an email, or I could do a video holding up his book and maybe doing a video review to get his attention. It's a prop. Sure, it may be a little hokey, but I think it's a lot better than, hi, Steve, and put a whiteboard up there, and then the rest of the message doesn't even relate to that person. So the first 10 seconds, I'm getting your attention, but the next part is the value.
Yes. Yeah.
Give me
that approach. We kind of do that with podcasts, and I've done it before, not in order to get a client, but I had a product I really liked. It was, new on the market, and I did like a little video about it. And sure enough, the CEO of the company reached out to me and ended up being a client of mine. I love that. I mean,
it's props. It's just getting their attention, but it takes heart. And before I even, let's say I'm trying to connect with you in a personal message, I'm going to do a little homework. Obviously, I'm going to look at you're a LinkedIn expert, your LinkedIn profile. Let's just say anybody. I'm going to look at their LinkedIn, but I'm also going to do a little deeper. I'm going to see if I can find that person on video and look at their behaviors. I'm going to match their style, because somebody's all suited up and uptight. That's a different style than if I'm buck wild and crazy on the video. You know, you got to intel through social media to do what I call social watching before you even engage. Do a little homework.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. So let's talk about that. And we've already started talking about omnichannel, multi-channel best practices. But yeah, how do you pull it all together?
Well, the first thing, great question. You got to have a video strategy. And I like what Vengreso has. They call it your PVC. You got to personalize it. You got to have value. You got to have a call to action. I'm going to add 2 other C's to that. You got to have a cadence. You got to be on the right channel. And you got to be at the right context. Context, is it one-to-many, or is it a broadcast, or is it one-to-one? You got to be on the right channel. If I'm great in this video and it's not resonating with you because you're on Instagram, if it's on LinkedIn, or if email works, you got to be on the right channel. It doesn't matter what everything else is. If they can't get it, it's the right channel, the context, the right level of engagement, and then just being able to have a compelling reason to call you back. Or contact you back. So you got to
drop into my Insta DMs, because I'm never going to see it, man. But
exactly. So have a strategy before, and then just do a little homework before you even get. And some videos, it's going to be, you just pick out the phone. Hey, I was thinking about you. We got this new product or service. Just want to keep you top of mind. You're already a customer. I'm just keeping to know. Happy holidays. Happy anniversary. LinkedIn trigger points when somebody changes a job, when somebody moves to a new position. Social is your intel for you to do your video.
Yeah. People get so irritated with those, is having a work anniversary, just got a new position, but oh my gosh, those are buying triggers, people. And I would turn those notifications back on, because to Doug's point, how many people are, especially on LinkedIn, and I'll go ahead and say on Insta and on Facebook too, how many people are sending a video congratulations on your work anniversary, a video happy birthday? They might go as far as a GIF, but video, that's a big deal. And if you use one of those cool tools that we were talking about earlier, a lot of them have animated GIFs for a thumbnail, and that just grabs the buyer's attention.
Get their attention and then get their time. And you stand out. Again, like we said earlier in this call here, or this live LinkedIn live, our engagement here is that you're trying to break through the noise and deliver value. And a personalized message on another channel, I'm actually getting a lot more luck out of Facebook, if you believe it or not, because it's 20-second. And these are sales leaders and offers. And I'm like, hey, let's connect. 20 seconds. It didn't take me long to pull out a phone, drop a few hints, get them back. And I also know when they look at it.
Yes. And you said this earlier, and I think it bears repeating. You've got to be authentic, though, right?
Sure.
If it's the cheesy "Happy Birthday" person I don't really know,
you got to do better.
Buy from me.
You got to do better, and just pulling up a name of somebody and then going into the rest of the message. Hi, John, and everything else is not valid. And I'm not knocking that technique, because it's important to have a call to action, but the whole body of work has to have substance. I'm a little hot about that. That and, being in, I don't understand this guy here and doing video with the big headphones. That's just me. I understand. I'm probably offended people here. So, but
it's for bad hair days. I can't.
Okay.
It's for bad hair days. You if you're having a bad hair day, you put the big speakers on your head.
Just try to, exactly. I love that. Just being in the mirror. I don't have much hair, so maybe, but the point is, we're not going to turn the camera around. But anyway, it's just having that visual elements. I know there's a lot of talk about green screen, not green screen. You're trying to get attention. You don't want to be cluttered. I mean, I see in your background, you got the Vengreso representing. I'm representing the ATL. Got my bat signal up here in layman's terms. Just having some fun with it. But I'm trying to draw attention and not be. But the words that come out of your mouth and what you're saying is just as important as all the visual pattern interrupts and props that you can do.
Yeah. One of the cool ninja tricks that Kurt does all the time is he'll either go to, back when we could, go to a client's office, or he'll find video of it. And he'll have that in the back of his one mob. He'll actually, like he was standing in front of LinkedIn or standing in front of, Salesforce or whatever. And that definitely grabs people's attention. And
just like I said, holding up the author's book or having their logo or screen captures. I love screen captures when I'm and Vidyard. I don't know which. I hear different ways of
too.
Yeah, where they have the screen capture in your head down. That's a great way to draw attention.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
the words that come out of your mouth are just as important.
Exactly. I do that a lot with a different product, but it doesn't matter. When I'm doing a video, especially if I'm doing a teaching moment. You've got the screen here and then, your little talking head down here and you're pointing things out.
Exactly.
It's better than just a screenshot, I think, with a voiceover.
Because if you're going to do that, you might as well just leave a voice message.
Exactly. Now, Andre, who's our amazing moderator, and she's on vacation and she came in to be with us today. She says there's actually some questions.
Sure.
So here we go. All right, Chris. After developing the strategy and software, what are some simple yet effective items or tools for salespeople who want to effectively sell over a basic video call?
Well, great question, Chris. Over a basic video call might be, I think where he's going, first touch points, video follow-up. Let's say you're working with a client, you send them a copy of the proposal or frequently asked questions, or they're onboarded. They're already a client of yours. Send them a video on onboarding for better customer experience. Because if you get them happy with video, guess where that leads to? Advocacy. And that leads to a video testimonial. So you engage, and then engage some more with video from pre-sales to post-sales. You got the strategy, you got the software, use it, follow up. Because, action, don't be passive, be active with it. But don't overkill with the video, but use video for touch points from pre-sales to post-sales to customer advocacy. And if you got a new initiative to upsell, hey, they're happy, they're using it. Maybe a video that talks about something that might be more beneficial. It's all about them and how you can deliver value. And video is the way to go. Great question, Chris.
Really good question. And I know there's different answers depending on, and then we'll get to Michelle's. I know there's different answers depending on how long or what you're trying to do or where you are in the sales cycle with video. But do you still kind of go shorter is better? Do you still think
I think shorter is better? As you go longer, they may want more. Let's say you're further along in the sales cycle. There's well documented. You got them in. Now you're at the demo phase, and now they're at the decision phase.
Right.
Maybe you show a longer form video in their industry of a case study. That might be longer, but you kind of stream it along. And there's no cookie cutter way with this, but you got to have cookies to do it. If you hesitate and procrastinate, you're never going to get it done. So I think shorter because we're attention, is that much. But at the same time, you got to bring value. When I do a video message and I call them on the phone, I'm not just saying, hey, Viv, I sent you a video at 2:13. I'm going to say something in that audio message to up the value because it's multiple touch points. I mean, we talk about omni-channel, multiple touch points, leveraging video with the other players. Because at the end of the day, engagement and time. I want your time. I don't want your likes. I want your, well, I like your likes, but I want your engagement.
Right. Yeah. Because likes are nice, but they don't put any deals in the pipeline.
They don't take it to the bank,
That's right. That's exactly right. All right. Michelle had a great question too. Okay. Yeah. How about people who don't have a team to make the videos pretty? You can hire Doug.
You can hire a remote editor. You can learn how to edit. I know that sounds really bad, but there's a thing. YouTube's great for learning how to do things. There's apps on the phone. We can reach out to me online, connect with me, and I'll give you some resources. But as long as you frame the start and the end of the video, you have a good starting point and stop. You can clip it. There's ways to do that. It's really what you're saying in the message. Another thing to do is obviously I don't want to be on camera, and they might be like a realtor. I call it the two sides of the camera. You can do voice narration with you not being on video, but using the camera to film. Let's say I'm trying to sell a house. This is really kind of different out of the box, but I'm trying to film a house and I'm talking about it. I'm a realtor. Film the house, have my voice do it. You're not on camera, but you're still getting that visual element. So there's a lot of things that you can do with video that are simple. Pictures, like you said, gifs,
Yeah. And there's a cool tool that my friend Subi Zimmerman, the Instagram expert, told me about, which is in video. Do you know InVideo.io?
I'm familiar with it. I haven't used it that much. And speaking of Subi, I definitely need to get my Instagram game up.
I know, I do too.
I'm not doing video, but there's so many tools out there. But start small.
Yeah.
Start with the stories. Right now, everybody go out. If you haven't done a video, get it on your, first of all, you got to have for LinkedIn, you got to have the mobile app. Check that off. If you don't have that, well, we got to get you there. Then just do a story, 20 seconds. Click it on. Say hello. It's a Friday. Have a great weekend. Super Bowl's coming up. Pick your team and let's go. Have some fun with it.
And I'm graphically impaired. So Michelle, I don't know if you are or not, but I am so graphically impaired. Like, thank God we have a team because even with tools, I'm not great. But we also had the CEO of Annette, the CEO of easel.com, easel.com. And that's a great tool, even for stories, because it gives you some templates. And I mean, it does everything graphical like Canva does.
Sure.
And so you can create slightly more interesting. But if that's going to hold you back, to Doug's point, if using tools like Easel or InVideo or OneMob or BombBomb or Vidyard or whatever are going to hold you back, then just do it. Hold it up. Just do it. Right.
I hate the phrase start ugly, but get better as you go. Get in practice with people that are like-minded, already in a safe space.
Yeah, maybe got like a group on Facebook where people like you. You can try it out there, and then once you're comfortable with it, take it to big time. But the thing is, it's not going away. I mean, video's not going away. Video engagement's not going away. Selling with video is not going away. However, this Vengreso Live is going away. We're at time.
Okay.
So, Doug, do you have any last hints, tips? We'll definitely, here we go. She's already sharing all your contact info. Guys, you want to reach, and gals, you want to reach out to Doug. You want to connect with Doug. He is so knowledgeable and generous with his time, although you should totally hire him too. But okay, Doug, any last minute?
Make sure you have a thought, make sure you make it for them, and make sure you mobilize it. Especially if you're doing a video message real quick, have a compelling thumbnail in the subject line, have the word video, have a question, call to actions, mobilize that concept, conceptualize, visualize, and recognize, be ready to mobilize and share that story so it brings value to your audience.
That is
in layman's terms.
In layman's terms, everybody. Yeah, you got a podcast too, right?
I am working on that. With all these interviews that I'm doing that. I've got to get more inclined in that. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? I love seeing all these faces. Like sometimes you see them pop up on Facebook. Sometimes you see them pop up on LinkedIn. It's good to see you again, Jeff. It's been a long time. We should have you on the show. So yes, thank you, everybody. If you've got any questions that we missed, you can reach out to Doug directly. You can put them, in the whatever platform you're looking at. You can put them in the stream and we'll get there and respond to them later. Thank you for your time today. Viveka von Rosen, Vengreso Live, Doug Lehman in layman's terms, and we are out of here. Thanks, everyone.